Trump just finished speaking at Arlington National Cemetery for Memorial Day, and it was clear he did not want to be there. And I think his team realized this midway through the ceremony. I've got footage I'm going to show you in a minute, but we should take a second to provide some context. We learned from John Kelly, Trump's former chief of staff, that he thinks people who died in combat, soldiers, are suckers and losers. This report was published in The Atlantic first, and that led to many people questioning the authenticity. But then Kelly himself confirmed it to CNN. Take a look.
Including from a 2020 Atlantic story, reported with unnamed sources by editor-in-chief Jeffrey Goldberg, including the stunning detail that Trump turned to Kelly on Memorial Day at Arlington National Cemetery in 2017 and asked, "I don't get it. What was in it for them?" This is Kelly confirming on the record stories of Trump insulting Senator John McCain and former President George H.W. Bush because in Vietnam and in World War II, respectively, the former aviators were shot down. Kelly describes Trump as, quote, "a person that thinks those who defend their country in uniform, or are shot down, or seriously wounded in combat, or spend years being tortured as POWs, are all, quote, suckers because, quote, there is nothing in it for them. A person that did not want to be seen in the presence of military amputees because, quote, it doesn't look good for me. A person that demonstrated open contempt for a Gold Star family, for all Gold Star families, on TV during the 2016 campaign. And rants that our most precious heroes, who gave their lives in America's defense, are, quote, losers, and wouldn't visit their graves in France." Kelly confirming on the record a story reported in the book The Divider, where Trump tells Kelly he wants a military parade, like one he saw for Bastille Day in France, except he does not want any wounded veterans. Kelly confirming that Trump in 2018 in France refused to visit graves of Americans killed in World War I.
Of course, we all know that Trump dodged the draft during the Vietnam War, and this isn't to say that the Vietnam War was inherently good. I think many of us agree that it was not. It was a foreign policy disaster. We had no business being there. But he used his family's wealth and power and access to avoid a draft that led to the unnecessary deaths of many young American men and many Vietnamese men, women, and children. And this is of equal importance. But let's get back to present day. How did Donald Trump kick off his Memorial Day? By posting on Truth Social. Happy Memorial Day to all, including the scum that spent the last 4 years trying to destroy our country through warped radical left minds who allowed 21 million, and then he says million again, people to illegally enter our country, many of them being criminals and the mentally insane, through an open border that only an incompetent president would approve, and through judges who are on a mission to keep murderers, drug dealers, rapists, gang members, and release prisoners from all over the world in our country so they can rob, murder, and rape again. All protected by these USA-hating judges who suffer from an ideology that is sick and very dangerous for our country. Hopefully, the United States Supreme Court and other good and compassionate judges throughout the land will save us from the decisions of the monsters who want our country to go to hell. But fear not, we have made great progress over the last 4 months, and America will soon be safe and great again. Again, happy Memorial Day, and God bless America. Did you miss that? Did you miss that in the anti-immigrant screed? This was a Memorial Day message. But this tracks with his comments at Arlington National Cemetery. He kind of went off script and started talking about immigration. Take a look.
Their valor gave us the freest, greatest, and most noble republic ever to exist on the face of the earth. A republic that I am fixing after a long and hard 4 years. That was a hard 4 years we went through. Who would let that happen? People pouring through our borders unchecked. People doing things that are indescribable and not for today to discuss. But the republic that is now doing so very well, we're doing so very well right now.
He can't resist himself. He did this the other day at West Point for their commencement ceremony.
Our country was invaded for the last 4 years, and they've allowed people to come into our country that shouldn't be here. Criminals walk in, no vetting, no check-in, no nothing. Where are they coming from?
But the grieving families at Arlington who were there remembering their loved ones who died in combat, I think they all took solace in the fact that Trump is responsible for both the Olympics and the World Cup coming to the United States.
You know, I got the World Cup and I got The Olympics, the 250 years was not mine. I'd like to take credit. But I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup when I was president. And I said, boy, it's too bad I won't be president then. And look what happened. I turned out, and we're going to have a great time. We're going to have a great celebration. But most important of all is the 250th anniversary. That blows everything away, including the World Cup and including the Olympics, as far as I'm concerned.
Come on, dude. What are you doing? What are you doing? You couldn't just save that for tomorrow? Anyway, let's get into what we talked about at the beginning. Donald Trump didn't want to be there, and you saw that during Pete Hegseth's comments.
Of worldly greatness. While we don't know the unknown's identity, race, or creed, we know his story. It's the story of every soldier who leaves behind his hometown, his parents, his siblings, his sweetheart, all that he knows, to go fight a war, to pray as bullets and bombs thunder around him.
He's looking around, he's closing his eyes, he's yawning, and this was from the White House's live stream. So Trump's team was in complete control of what's in frame. And I think they noticed that, because when J.D. Vance went up to speak next, this was the angle.
They laid down their lives for Americans they would never meet, for generations yet unborn.
He's very clearly bored. And I think this connects to what we were talking about earlier with the Jeffrey Goldberg report. He doesn't seem to have a lot of respect for people who died in combat. So this ceremony, honoring people who have died in war, he just can't seem to rationalize the significance. But ultimately, the spotlight isn't on him. To really drive home the enthusiasm he has for the Olympics and the World Cup compared to the rituals and the traditions and the formalities of the Memorial Day ceremony, just take a look at the difference between his energy in these two clips.
Thank you, thank you, thank you for giving America the brightest light in your lives. It's what you've done. We will never, ever forget our fallen heroes, and we will never forget our debt to you. But I got the Olympics, I got the World Cup when I was president. And I said, boy, it's too bad I won't be president then. And look what happened. I turned out, and we're going to have a great time.
Maybe he still believes what John Kelly said, that people who died are suckers and losers. Or maybe he just needs a nap. What do you think? Give me your opinion in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thank you.